Hello and welcome to Tommy Talks TV. I have one singular goal with this show, and that is to help you make smarter decisions so that you can have better relationships. I'd like to start as usual by saying a very big thank you. Thank you for all your likes and your shares and your comments on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. I really appreciate you because you're helping us spread the message further faster. So thank you very much indeed. Now, today I'm going to be taking another one of your questions, and it goes like this. I found out after marriage that my husband cannot get me pregnant due to some health challenges. When I asked during courtship, he said he was fine health wise. This is really making me feel concerned, and I'm thinking about divorce because I think in my heart that he lied to me. What should I do? My heart really goes out to you, because this is a very difficult situation to find yourself in. Obviously, you're now married to him, and you're looking at, decades of life together, but probably, having children is something that's really important to you. And now you're finding that it looks like that might be difficult. Now, you haven't actually explained what sort of medical condition your husband has. That would sort of have a bit of a bearing on where you go from here. But I will start with the basic foundation, which is this. I would not encourage you to get divorced from your husband simply because he cannot get you pregnant. Because this is the same advice that I would give to a husband if he found out after he got married that his wife could not get pregnant. You see, marriage is not, it's not a contract. It's not something that you go into with the mindset that, well, if everything is fine, then I stick with you. But then if things don't work out, then I'm off. No, marriage, Christian marriage, is a covenant. So it's something that you've gone into with the idea that, look, whether it's good or there are challenges, in sickness and in health, we're going to stick together. You see, when people make those vows, a lot of times we don't think about the implications of those vows and what that really means. So in this sort of situation now, you find yourself with a husband who has a health challenge. Think about it this way. He could have gotten married to him and everything was fine health-wise, and then suddenly, somewhere down the line, something went wrong health-wise, and all of a sudden, he can no longer have children. Would you, on the basis of that, decide to divorce him? And that's the question you need to ask yourself. Now, I'm not saying that this is easy, but I'm just simply saying that marriage from God's perspective is a covenant, and it's not something to be entered into lightly. So when you enter into marriage and you find that there are challenges that you did not anticipate along the way, that is the point where you need to double down and stand together as a couple and trust God for a change, either trust God for healing, or even more so, you need to actually take time together as a couple to begin to investigate, because a lot of times I find that things that people think are insurmountable challenges maybe are not. Sometimes there are medical, solutions to things that people feel, oh, this is it, and we can't have children again. So, take time together as a couple, but you've got to make up your minds to face this together as a couple. Now, there's a very important question that I need to address, and that's the question of why do you feel that he lied to you? Because trust is such a fundamental part of, a marriage relationship. Now, you said that, you asked him and he said that he was fine health-wise. Is there a possibility that he had no idea, for instance, that, he had this health challenge? That's a very strong possibility. You see, so I would say that, don't make an assumption that he knew that there was an issue, because what you said is that you feel like he lied. You're not saying that you know that he lied. So don't base, the destruction of your marriage on an assumption that he knew, but he deliberately decided to deceive you. But ultimately, I come back to the same point which I started with, which is, if you're married to someone and this is a Christian marriage, you stepped into it, and when you stepped into it as a covenant, and you've got to uphold your part of the covenant and trust God, for the next few years of your marriage and how things will unfold. Do everything that you can as a couple, investigate together, what the options are medically, but, face this thing together. Face it together. This is what I would say to a man who married a woman who cannot have children as well at that particular point in time. Face it together, because miracles do happen, and I do strongly believe in miracles, so at the end of the day, look at it like it's not the end of the world. It's a tough challenge to face, a really tough one, but it's not the end of the world, and it doesn't have to be the end of your marriage. Well, I hope this has helped you. If this has helped you, then please leave me a message on Facebook, on Instagram, or YouTube, or wherever it is you're watching. And if you've got a question question you would like me to answer, then head on over to tommytalks.com/ask and I'll answer your question next time. See you next time. Bye bye.